Hello and welcome to Lunchtime Politics, reaching you live from our global headquarters here in the nation's commercial nerve center, Lagos. I'm Jeffrey Uzonga. Let's bring you up to speed with the big happenings in politics and the polity. (2023) presidential aspirant Chief Dele Momodu accuses current administration of running civilian dictatorship. Says he's not joining the APC. National Assembly considering institutionalizing June 12 to allow the president to take oath at NAS Arcade and deliver annual address to the nation. And President Bola Tinubu inaugurates the International Conference Center, Abuja, insists on the payment to use as FCT Minister to ignore what he terms busybodies and bystanders. Thanks again for joining us on the program at midday. What we do here is just to bring you up to speed with the big happenings in the polity, especially politics. And yesterday was a busy day for the president, and tomorrow is going to be yet another busy day ahead of June 12. But something played out yesterday at the International Conference Center, where inaugurated the rehabilitated, or renovated, I should say, International Conference Center that was renamed after him. And at that event, he made a few comments concerning that facility, such as ensuring payment is done before use, and also had a word for people who are criticizing the FCT minister. Let's take a listen to him.
I turned to Wiki. I said, but this conference center is not reflecting who we are. Have we sunk this low? He said no. But bear with us. We will do whatever we can do to transform the place. You won't come back to find it in a dilapidated, uninhabitable situation that it is. Today, I say once again to all of you, Baraka de Sala. Don't pay attention to the busybody and the bystanders. Whatever they say, continue with your good work. You are a transformational leader. You have the foresight, the vision and determination to succeed. Thank you very, very much. And you must obey what the landlord says. You want to use this place? You got to pay for it.
And away from that, the National Assembly is actually contemplating a few things in terms of legislation, and one of which is to institutionalize a presidential address every June 12 in recognition of the day's historic significance. And the leader of the Senate, Senator Okpayemi Bamidele, disclosed this in an interview with journalists in Abuja, stating that the Senate is hoping to prepare a bill to formalize the president's speech to the nation on that day.
The president is also working with us in that regard. That is also his own interest. We are hoping that we'll be able to bring a bill, soon to address this with a view to ensuring that it is institutionalized. There can't be a better time for the president to come and address the nation through the parliament, than on June 12th. We're also hoping to be able to change, our political setting to the extent that the swearing-in ceremony of the next president and commander-in-chief of Nigeria, we hold within the arcade of the National Assembly. 2025 budget is being implemented. It is running along with the capital of 2024 budget. So it then will mean that we will further extend the implementation of capital expenditure for 2024 budget, while also ensuring that the entire budget for 2025, capital and recurrent, are funded. I want to say that the Senate in the last 2 years has had a lot to deal with and has also taken a lot of decisions. Part of our objective is to ensure that before the end of the 3rd year, in office, that whichever constitutional amendment we are proposing or whichever new provisions we are proposing, everything would have been ready and put together, for presidential assent.
Now, earlier today, we had a conversation with one of the chieftains of the People's Democratic Party, a party that is immersed in interest wrangling at the moment, Chief Dele Momodu, and he made some remarks concerning how Nigeria is being run. One of his remarks is to the effect that Nigeria is drifting into what he considers civilian dictatorship in that sense. Let's take a listen.
A major crisis of monumental dimensions was orchestrated, was aggravated in Rivers by one man. And we all sat down there watching until they had to declare a state of emergency. Just because one man would not agree to go away quietly as a former governor. I've never seen anything like it. It's unprecedented in the history of Nigeria. Even the president, the incumbent president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who has held Lagos since 1999 to date, has not been as audacious as Wike. In fact, right now, it's looking like we have 2 presidents in Nigeria. Wike can do anything. Yesterday, I listened to the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the commander-in-chief, calling fellow Nigerians busybodies. You interpreted it as naysayers. Naysayers is still far better than busybodies. Nigerians, you are calling Nigerians busybodies. Bystanders. Who is a bystander in his own country? Because of one man, Wike. And of course, if you were in Wike's shoes, you will dance more than he danced yesterday. Nigeria is virtually back to civilian dictators who don't care how you feel, what you feel. Nigerians are hungry. I definitely won't join APC. That one is out of the question. If I wanted to join APC, I won't be speaking to you the way I am this morning. I'll be giving genuine excuses like everyone else who wants to join, but they are not bold enough to say so because they are weighing their options. I'm not weighing any option. My soul is totally out of it. I cannot sit in a room where one man will dictate to adults, able-bodied adults who have worked all their lives, and say that he is the Lord of the Manor. I will not be in that room.
All right, strong words there from Chief Dele Momodu. Let's get to the conversation with my guest, who is the State Secretary of the All Progressives Congress in Anambra State, Mr. Kenneth Chukwudi, joining us virtually. Mr. Chukwudi, thank you so much for coming on the program.
Thank you for having me.
So before we get to the Anambra politics in preparations for November the 8th, let's talk about what you just heard from Chief Dele Momodu. He made some assertions, in fact, saying that it looks like we're having 2 presidents in this sense. Well, we know we have 1 president, but you can understand where it's coming from. But of interest to me is when he did allude to the effect that by the administration's, what is playing out within these administration, we are sliding into, we're talking about sliding into one's party state, but now he has raised another one. He said this is a serious issue around civilian dictatorship. What do you think he means by that, and do you agree?
Definitely, I don't agree with him. There's nothing like civilian administration. We all have been in this country. During the days of Obasanjo, when this country was in PDP, when the power was in their hand, Nigeria was almost a one-party state. When Obasanjo, within 1999 to 2003 to 2007, it was all PDP all the way, everywhere, all the states, people leaving their party. That was a time we know that when Bola Tinubu was the governor of Lagos State, he later conquered the whole southwest states to 80. But later along the line by 2023, 2027, you see the AD was having all the states in the southwest. But later you see how they start taking it away from them, moving it to PDP. They were all moving to PDP, looking for comfort, looking for assistance looking for support of the center, looking for connection to the center. This is not a different time. PDP, like we know, is crisis ready. All the states are looking for free. Did you listen to the governor of Akwa Ibom State the other day? He was giving reason for him not to continue with PDP. And he simply stated that the crisis are the party, not knowing who is the national chairman, not knowing who is the national secretary of the party, can cost him the ticket. One fellow like that can go to court and challenge his emergency nomination for his second term. And before you know it, Supreme Court will rule otherwise and his ticket will be taken away from him. He is no longer comfortable. So also the other states who are members of the PDP, they are no longer comfortable because their party their center cannot hold. So people cannot continue to dwell in that. With due respect to Chief Dele Momodu, he is protecting his party, but he knows very, very much well that his party is ready. The crisis in his party, we did not cause it. APC did not cause it. We were not part of their crisis.
They actually, Mr. Chukwudi, that brings to my question. My apologies. So they say your party is implicitly coercing them, blackmailing them, but this is not in the front burner. But my question was not on the issue of one-party state. He said, what is going on now is civilian dictatorship. That's what I want you to speak to.
It's not that there is nothing like civilian dictatorship going on in the Nigerian polity today. The president is doing his job as the president and commander-in-chief of the armed forces of the Federal Republic. It is only when it is not their turn they start finding a way to criminalize whatever another party is doing, because the PDP held this country for 16 years. In that 16 years, they were not dictating. Was there any party putting on or saying anything or doing anything that is not what the PDP said? So why should this one APC is ruling now be a different case? What is happening now that has not happened today? What is that thing that is happening today that we have not seen before? Apart from the new governance directions of Mr. President. There are a good number of things Mr. President is giving out in this present day Nigeria, which we have not seen before. And that is what they are criticizing from behind.
You don't think that the APC government is hostile to dissenting voices? Because that's what it feels like. So a couple of people, look at what is being played out with Professor Patu Tomi. The DSS is in court with him. Look at what happened with the NSAS issue. I'm talking about APC generally now. Look at the issue of end bad governance issue. I could go on and on, a couple of things. People want to protest. The next thing is rallying to make sure, oh, there are places in Lagos, including the Lekki toll gate, where you cannot even go and protest. In fact, that's a red flag zone. If you go there, you're looking for trouble. So these are some of the feelers people get and begin to make allusion that Nigerians are no longer bold. It looks like people are timid because of crackdown, implicitly. Do you see it, or you choose not to see it, or it's just speculation?
No, it's a speculation. There is nothing happening in this country that has not been happening. People can protest. The only thing is that it was even the PDP government that made the law that before you protest, you can't get police permit. It was the PDP government. It's not this government that made the law that before you make protests in this country, you can't get police permit. when we were students, when I was a senior clerk of NANS in 2001, before we make protests, we used to go and write application, go and let DSS know, go and let police chiefs know that we are protesting along this area. They will come and bring police and be following us following us to make sure that we don't deviate from the purpose of the protest. So it is not new. This is all those things are blackmails to this government because they are not in power now. And all these things started with PDP government from 1999. So nothing that is happening today that it is new. Nothing is new. We're only modifying it. It is only in this government that people can come out and start causing the president, saying a lot of malicious things against the president, and he allows it to go.
No, that is not exactly true. So, Mr. Chukwudu, so for context, first and foremost, it appears you're saying everybody has done it, so why is ours different? Second, this is not the most cursed president. Every president has received one curse or the other, so that is not even a conversation we should have. But let's get to the meat of the matter. Earlier today, we did interview Sly Ezekonwa, who is the national chairman of the All Progressives Grand Alliance. And in his words, from his mouth to our listening ears, he said, we're just giving stature to people that don't have stature. The APC is non-existent in that sense in Anambra State.
Well, Sly has been coming on national TV saying a number of things against APC. But I want to tell you, Sly knows APC is in Anambra State. Sly knows that also that November 8 is a date in waiting. Sly knows that APC is coming to take over this government because this present government of Abga in Anambra State is putting crisis in so many places. And a lot of people don't want them. They are quarreling with the church. The government is quarreling with market women. It's quarreling with businessmen in Onitsha. You know, Anambra is a business community. We are predominantly traders. And they are having quarrels, collecting tax with a lot of even non-state actors, collecting taxes here and there. And he knows that the Anambra people are tired. The church is tired. Students are tired. The business community are tired. The labor movement are also tired. And November 8th is a date. So Sly this is not the time Sly goes to national television and start talking about there's no APC in Anambra, there's no APC in Anambra. Mr. President has visited Anambra and he saw that there's APC in Anambra. So it's no longer a news to him.
Mr. President came to Anambra. Mr. Chukwudi, Mr. President came to Anambra and he was dancing with the governor and celebrating with the governor. And of course, you know that APGA has some sort of a rule where they align with the center. And that's why anybody who's at the center is a friend of APGA in that sense. So apparently from the body language you saw, Mr. President is very comfortable with Professor Chukwuma Soludo. And I know you have a candidate that is vying for the same office. Are you worried about that?
Well, I can tell you about that. Mr. President is the president of the country, president of everybody. And the governor, the erudite Professor Charles Soludo, is the governor of my state. He is my governor. And the president has the right to visit the state, visit him on official duty, perform his functions as a president to the people of Anambra State. That's his right. So there is nothing wrong that the president visits, even if it is another party that is ruling Anambra State. The president has the right to visit him, come and commission projects for him and other things. It is his responsibility as the president of the country. He's not the president of APC. Our president is not the president of APC, but president of everybody. So if he's invited to do something here, he will come. But what I'm trying to tell you is that the president knows his own side here. The president knows that President Nicholas Okachukwu has been elected the candidate of his party. The president, even in that place, he told them that president is of APC. And he knows very well that we are going to the field. We are going to challenge the erudite professor and return the erudite professor to the classroom. That's where he belongs. So
how are you returning? So one of the things, Mr. Chukwudu, my apologies, one of the things I discussed, and I did tell him, check the boxes that makes you so confident to say it's a home run for Professor Chukwuma Soludo. What is it that Chukwuma Soludo, the governor, is doing that you think that your candidates can do better?
Yes, I want to tell you, in the area of security, my candidate will do better. I am here and I'm from Orumba North, I'm from Ajale precisely. But I cannot go there. I cannot go home to sleep overnight with my two eyes closed. Non-state actors have taken over communities in Orumba North, Orumba South.
But Mr. Sly, my apologies. So I'm just giving you, so that I'm picking his words and giving it back to you. When I asked him about his scorecard, he started with security. He said before the governor came, a couple of local governments were inaccessible because of some people he doesn't know how to describe them, whether it's non-state actors, terrorists, and whatever. But now that is history. So where exactly are you talking about? Because these were the words of Sly Ezekonwa this morning.
Thank you very much. I cannot be telling you that. Even the mayor, the local government chairman of Orumba South of Abga, his father is in captivity today. In the last 2 weeks, his father has not been seen. Non-state actors, they have taken his father. They have taken other people around my community. If you mention names, I can tell you that in my own very community, about 4 people are in captivity as I'm talking to you now. In Orumba South, about more than 6 people, even day before yesterday, they came there, they killed some security man and walk away with some people. So some communities go to here, the local government is the same thing. They cannot go home, go to Newi local government, all those areas, we cannot go home. There are other communities in Obaru local government that the Anambra people are not sleeping with 2 eyes closed. And I believe that my candidate has his security arrangement to take care of that. I am telling you that the local government election that were conducted in Anambra State last year, people are not happy with them because they're not delivering. Because they don't even believe the funds are not with them, because the government is talking of local government autonomy. But that local government autonomy is neither here nor there, because every month all the allocations of the local government are being returned to the governor through the UBA account, they call consolidated account. More than 80% of local government fund, every local government will receive the allocation direct and come and sign a check of over 80% and return it back to government coffers through an account, a consolidated account in United Bank for Africa.
Okay. Mr. Chukwudi, we're going to come to the issue of management of resources. It's one of the questions I threw to Ms. Sly this morning. You're going to respond to, but I'm looking at the data that we have. From the immediate past election, APC did not perform well at all, as a matter of fact. So Professor Chukwuma Soludo had won by, he won about 112,000 votes. Valentine Ozigbo scored 53,000 votes. APC came with 43,000 votes. YPP 21,000 votes. But if you talk about the local government distribution, Chukwuma Soludo won 19 local governments. YPP had one local government. YPP had one local government. APC did not win a single local government. Correct me if I'm wrong. And then you want to give them a run for their money one term after? How do you want to do that?
Well, I will tell you that we know why we had that abysmal failure, I may call it, in the last election. And we have taken care of that, because one thing in politics is you start with internal democracy of the party. And we took care of such situations, such things that messed us up in the last election. We took care of it in this last concluded party primaries, where we elected President Nicholas Okachuku. Because all this idea of direct primaries and indirect primaries, where we all have problem with over 17 candidates that is contesting for governor, and there will be a power play that will bring out one particular candidate. But this time around, we took care of it. We did indirect. We elected delegates, brought them to a place, and everybody casted their vote, and their vote were counted. And I can tell you today that we are in that election together as a party. The last election, we never went there as a party, because out of the 13, 14 candidates, aspirants that went into the election, about 13 went to court challenging the person that the party produced. But this time around, after the court, about 7 people went into these primaries, and I can tell you that we are all together now, moving as a party to deliver Anambra. So we know where we had problem in the last election, and we have taken care of, we have corrected ourselves and given ourselves direction. President Nicholas Okachukwu is now the candidate of all. All the aspirants that contested with him are now working with him.
Has
And
Nicholas,
together we are
Mr. Chukwudi, just a moment, has Nicholas ever won an election before?
Yes, Nicholas has won an election before. He has won Abuja Municipal Council before. He has been a member of the House of Representatives before. Okay. He has won an election.
Okay, I just wanted to put down the record. So as we begin to wind down, one question that is critical for me, which is more critical for Anambra, in my view, is what he has on offer to turn around the fortune of the state. So as of last year, Anambra is highly dependent on FAC. FAC is everybody's money, apparently, but over 70% of the monies that they used to run Anambra State comes from FAC. Your IGR is in the region of 40 to 50 billion, depending on which numbers you're looking at. So we're averaging 3 to 5 billion naira every month, which is not good, given the potential of the industrial nature of Anambra State. When you look at Onitsha and look at Nnewi and some of these high points that things could be ramped up to make sure that industrialization is driven higher and so that IGR can be higher and less dependency on federal allocation. I have not seen your manifesto as a party of your candidate, but let me in on what exactly you're going to do to increase IGR in just maybe in 1 minute.
Yes, I think our candidate has a lot of plans to elevate, to uplift the IGR of the state. First, he's a businessman and he's a manufacturer. So, and he has already put it in place on how to revive all the moribund industries that are having challenges within and around Anambra State here. He has been having meetings with the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria on how to improve things in Anambra. Even the agricultural sector will not be left behind. We are not going to over-dependent on tax. I know taxes are necessary, but we are going to go and activate other sources. Other sources, the agricultural section in Anambra State has not been commensurate. And he has decided to put a lot of resources in that direction. He has also decided to put a lot of resources in the direction of the manufacturers. There are some companies who are no longer meeting up, and government is we're going to meet with them, make out a way on how to alleviate their funding so that they can get back to business and in turn alleviate the economy of the state.
All right, Mr. Kenneth Chukwudi, I'm sure campaigns, I think campaigns can start today if I'm correct by the timetable. Campaign officially kicks off either today, I think, or tomorrow. I can't remember the exact date. So we're going to be probing deeper into what plans each of these political parties, including yours, has for the people of Anambra, popularly known as India Anambra. We must thank you for coming on the program. Kenneth Chukwudi is the APC State Secretary in Anambra State. Thank you, sir, for coming on the program. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for your time and, of course, your usual company. Tomorrow is Democracy Day, June 12th. We'll be back here, God willing, to bring you up to speed with the big happenings in politics and in the polity. That's it on the program. I'm Jeffrey Uzama. You've been served with Lunchtime Politics. Bye-bye.